Actually, speaking of Titanic, that would have been a good way to go. Not the people on the Titanic, but the Ocean Gate. Oh my God! Yeah, that's very preferable.
You said
very
Titanic,
preferable.
like yeah.
Well, they went down to the Titanic. I mean, it's very technically they are people who perished on their names are now on a plaque that's on the boat.
And that is, you're right, because I didn't realize how instant it was until I watched a YouTube video on it.
Yes,
and it's like there wasn't like on a plane crash or like obviously the real Titanic. There's a lead up. In the case of the real Titanic, a very long one, a plane crash, a much shorter one. But like there is a time of abject horror where you are in no control. You have no ability to exert control over your situation. Those guys going to the bottom of the sea. Apparently, like there was never even a second of like, hey, this Mad Catz controller's running low on batteries, or like this doesn't seem like a well constructed thing. Hey, there was a weird creak there. Is that concerning to us? It was just instantaneous.
It's just they say if you can hear the noise, then you're okay. And like because if you don't, then it's just lights out. There's it's faster than your nerves can transmit the pain to your brain.
It's faster than the speed of sound too.
You get vaporized.
Anything. Your brain works at the speed of chemistry. They got fucking imploded. And some of the simulations show they make the people out of these little like cubes. And they're just like shattering as the person implodes to nothing, and it like turning into goo. I saw the wreckage. Now the wreckage. It just looked like it was torn apart, but I haven't seen any like chunks of people or anything. Which there
wouldn't have been. So
I don't think there were, according to them. Yeah,
the air inside got super heated, and essentially they were vaporized. I mean, the amount of pressure down there. It was 12,000 feet, something like that. Let me just look up pressure at.
Stupid. It's so stupid. I watched that whole documentary about it, and you could even see there's a part where Zach was talking about it in the text over here, where the wife is up top and she's like monitoring, and there's another guy with her and the camera's on her, and you hear boom, and she goes, "What was that?" Yeah, that was the sub exploding.
Yeah. So the pressure.
Like she receives the message after the explosion because of like it takes so long to get back up or something, which didn't make sense to me, but that's what they said.
So Kyle, in reading the expressions, did you feel like other people in the room knew what it was?
Nobody knew what it was. Yeah, they heard a bonk, and
she was like, "What was that?" She was because
then the search began, and the Navy was called, and hours and hours. And we started watching it on the news later on. It was like,
but they
only have 4 hours of air left.
Yeah, but they knew that there wasn't anybody there. So the pressure down there at 12,500 feet is 6,000 pounds per square inch. So it's roughly 400 times the pressure that we have now. It's 400 atmospheres. So that's pretty insane. That's really, really crazy. So imagine that just all around you in every direction, just forcing you into like a singularity, you know?
Yeah. That's a good way to go. You were still planning your post-expedition lunch in your head when you got.
I'm not convinced faster is better. Now, I know I'm not pro suffering, but if you were like, Woody, you die on Monday, I'd be like, oh, you know what? Thanks for the heads up. I'm going to, tie up some loose ends between now and then.
How do you get a note does it matter about her death?
I'd rob a bank.
Armored
you'd grow up a stewardess. Get on the nearest plane.
You'd be like, honey, this is the folder with all the financial. This is the bank. This is this is the that. You're going to need to know this after I'm gone. I'd say my goodbyes. I don't know. Just sort of wrap things up. Do what I got to do. Maybe break out the paramotor one more time.
I mean, and that would be the final destination part of it. That would be like Monday morning when you're like, one last flight. Like that would be the thing that cost you your life, man.
So that's interesting because like I don't know about you guys. Like I've had a lot of really interesting experiences just in life. Like I'm 38 and I've been fortunate and getting to do a lot of cool stuff. And I think about, if I died tomorrow, what would my like regrets be? What would I like? Do I have things that I really, really wanted to do and just they fell by the wayside, or do I have dreams deferred or something like that? And I always come back to, I feel like I've done enough. Like I know I still want to do more. But like if we were to call it a game tomorrow, I wouldn't feel bad about it. And
that's a good place to be mentally.
Yeah, but like I that doesn't mean I want to. I still have life insurance and all that stuff. I want everybody to be taken care of. But like, it's still, I don't know. It's I feel like I've gotten a lot of things done that I wanted in life, and everything past this is just kind of gravy. Like maybe I'll feel differently in 5 years where I'm like, no, I need to do more. But like, I feel like, I don't know if a lot of people can say that, but what do you guys think?
No, I mean, if that's how you feel, that's great. Like, I think the average thing would be people being like, oh man, I should have done this. I should have done that. Should have handled this differently. I should have grown up to stewardess.
Yeah. Get shotgun those 3 coats. Yeah.
You're looking at, you're doing that. You're having that little like forethought from the position of like you're in an afterlife, looking back at the present life, though, kind of.
Not necessarily. I just mean like right now, if this was just lights out, I'm not saying like,
but you won't
looking
know
back on the totality of. Well, no, yeah, I'll be too dead to care. But like, I think just in terms of would I, if I had a choice, right? If someone says you are going to die, tomorrow, and this is 100% certain, you can't do anything about it, I wouldn't be like, the only regret I would have is like, I wish I would spend, more time with my family, or just have more time with people that,
Game of
people I love.
Thrones.
Yeah, exactly. Just rewatch the first 5 seasons and that's it.
I'm gonna go get that writer. I'm gonna go get that fat fuck, take him out. If I only got a day left, I'm taking him with me. There's no way he gets to outlive me.
That's a good one. That's
right.
No, sir.
Thanks.
No, sir. Don't worry. I'll make him tell you how it all ends before I, care.
Would you like bludgeon him to death with Winds of Winter?
Yes, I would. I would make him eat his words actually until his. I would force feed him his unfinished, the blank pages that he hadn't finished, and then kick him in the stomach when he was gorged with them to rupture his belly. So
this sounds like fan fiction. This sounds like a good. You should. Is this like Harry Potter and the Cursed Child?
The estate's very litigious. I didn't mean any of that.
In a video game, yeah, of course.
This is all in Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I think after this, there's either absolutely nothing, or they're going to wake you up out of that pod and be like, "What was it like?"
Mm-hmm.
What if you wake up out of the pod and you're short?
You'll be in the future where pods exist, so you won't care.
What if you're like 5'2"?
I mean, who's to say the average man isn't 4'8"? Like I could live with 5'2" if I'm in a future with pods. You can just simulate universes in pods. And apparently I was the main character in my simulation. So because they woke me up. Y'all didn't get woken up.
Oh, what if when you die, you just get woken up and you're in like the beginning of the most mundane part of your life? Like, let's say you had to wait in line at the DMV for 3 hours, but then you just get put back in the very beginning of that. And you're like, oh God damn it! Like you're
talking about repeating purgatory hell.
Yes, exactly. So like a bad road trip or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always one of the scariest depictions of hell, that you're in a pocket universe that's on repeat for all eternity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The whole burning in a lake of fire thing seems to sort of pale in comparison from sitting at the DMV for the next eternity, knowing that when you do finally get called, it starts over again.
Yeah. Because every time he says you don't have the correct paperwork, you're right back pulling your number.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah. The issue I have with the idea of like heaven or hell is that it seems very one-dimensional. It's like, well, you don't like this and you like this, so you're going to be happy for all eternity. But the only reason why happiness even matters is because you have something to compare it to. Is because we have bad and good. And also, I think there is value to life because at some point it ends. If it was never ending, it would be essentially meaningless. And then if you only had good stuff where you just like, all right, just a constant drip of oxytocin or serotonin or whatever, like this, I'm just feeling happy all the time. Like that sounds like hell. That actually sounds like hell.
You know what? The way to fix that is like
Coke?
one day, yeah, Coke. One day a year in heaven, you have to visit hell.
I was saying 1 day a year, all crime is legal.
You have a little bit of a purge. No, like you're in heaven. A jillion years into that, you're right. You will have forgotten how shitty things can be, and so just one day a year, you leave heaven and all the delicious foods that you can eat as much as you want of, and you never ever gain weight, and you have to go live a day in hell. And then that's horrible because you're on fire and it hurts. And then the next day you're back in heaven, and now suddenly that food's sweeter again. You're like, man, I was taking this for granted. I don't think that would really help people that much, because let's say if you're a billionaire and then you do a you guys remember this movie Brewster's Millions? So it's Mel Brooks, and he gets to he's a millionaire, and he decides, like, his friends do a sort of bet that if he can make it 30 days as being homeless, then he gets some crazy amount of money. And through the 30 days, his friends end up fucking him over, and then he ends up falling in love with like a real, hot homeless woman, which is never occurred. That's as unreal as this fucking Survivor.
Exactly. Yeah. She was seed 11A too. But it's just like, I don't think 1 day of perspective.
Sure that's Brewster's Millions?
Is it? Yeah, I think so.
I think, isn't that the Eddie Murphy movie where if he wants, or maybe
no, that's Trading Places.
That's Trading Places.
Kyle's right. He has to spend all the money in a weekend or something. Richard.
Yeah, it's not Eddie Murphy though. It's the guy who set himself on fire. Pryor. Richard Pryor. Yeah, he to inherit like 40 million. He has to spend $1 million in like a day. Correct. And the whole point is to teach him that the money's not worth anything, that it's about, and through a day or two of wasting that money, he learns the value of money. It's a fun little story at the end.
Right. So so the movie I'm talking about, I think, is Life Stinks.
Oh, yep. That's it.
Yeah. There we go. Life Stinks. There we go. But same era, right? But I think you don't get one day of perspective shift and then everything's fine. Like if you're a billionaire and then you just become
Trading
homeless.
Places. Trading Places is another one, kind of similar thing. And you also get to see Jodie Foster's tits. Not Jodie Foster, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah, they're
much better nice. Tits anyway.
Yes, but also the idea that, like, let's say you have to go to prison, right? Like 1 day of prison doesn't make you a better person. I think because there's no stakes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think the idea that you're gonna get out tomorrow is already like a softening of that. If it was like you're gonna get a like every month you get judged. Every month you could go to hell for forever. So you better like maybe that's the thing. I don't know. I really don't like the concept of heaven or hell. It just seems kind of dumb to me. Like, and I'm sorry if I offend people and in the audience or you guys. I don't mean.
I like the idea of it being, and a lot of like fantasy and sci-fi has done this. I like the idea that everyone would have their own hells and heavens. That we're not going to be in some big gold fucking castle or some city of gold with clouds to walk on and just all that bullshit. That your version of heaven might have been like that great day with your family down by the lake, pushing the swing and having a barbecue. And you just get to have that day as much as you want. And it's that maybe you even have that ability to, like, how you would love to watch Lord of the Rings again, fresh, having never seen it. If you could just be like, fucking reset. Lord of the Rings, you say, what's it about? Well, have a seat. And you're back in that fucking Cinerama, like you got the smell of the popcorn and sticky shoes and your brothers are there.
It's this great movie about walking where they pretend there's a fellowship, but really Frodo does it all on his own.
Just Sam. So not
wouldn't have got very far without Sam.